And now something a little different from Dookie Dark Wolf. Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan shows video essay, a tribute to Kazuki Takahashi.
Hello everyone.
Did you expect a video essay from Dookie now, did you?
My name is Dookie Dark Wolf.
Sup?
And as most of you know, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kazuki Takahashi has tragically passed away, and many people have already made their tributes to the man who made the childhood. So I figured it's about time I make one myself. And I want to apologize because this was on my list, on my bucket list to do for a very long time, but I just didn't have the time to do it. But I've also been very procrastinating about it, which is something I feel bad about.
Procrastination, the ultimate enemy.
A specific part of the community that I grew up with and that I will forever love. You see, I don't look at Yu-Gi-Oh! As simply a community. I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom as a collective of communities. We have competitive
Yes, fair enough.
The casual community, the anime community, you know, all that stuff.
True.
The one that I will cherish forever. The one that we will be focusing here, most part, is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan series community.
This is a gorgeous shot for the record. The beginnings.
First of all, it's obviously important that we talk about the game itself. I know the history of the
How to
game
play.
and its creator is well known by now, but I figured I'd just give it a TLDR. As most of you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Show and manga were horror-based, and as the name Yu-Gi-Oh! Means King of Games in Japanese, it's obviously that the original series was more multiple games show with a heavy penalty. You know, like playing some random game and then setting bullies on fire and whatnot. But there was one thing in the original show and manga that stood up above the rest. And that was a parody of Magic the Gathering, I believe. It was a parody of Magic.
Monsters and Wizards.
Called like Wizards and Monsters? Wizards and Magic? Something like
close
that.
enough.
Well, basically, from that point on, it became its own game, as we all know, as more people
Which is just ridiculous. This was literally lightning in a bottle.
Which led him to, you know...
The origin of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Came to be through just sheer random chance in a Magic the Gathering parody is one of those things that's like, really? All of this from one parody.
Video games. But, as we all know, with every popular show, there always is going to be a fandom. And with fandom,
naturally,
fanfics.
Of course.
Stories where a fan
for
would
better or
put their
worse
own character in a story involving the characters of a series or story they are the fan of, and they go on wacky adventures together.
Why'd you put sevens here?
What makes it unique in that regard.
Show the recent show.
As a show already feels like that, as Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just one show, it's a collective of spin-off shows like GX, DZXO, and so on and so forth. So,
true that.
Every show having a new characters, new stories, with only some small references to the previous shows that came before. So, with that in mind, making a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fanfic is not that bad in that regard, as
not really,
no. Have any of the characters for the actual show tagging along at all. You can just make your own stories with your own
You misspell Zybers.
Based on already established lore, or make up your own lore and add to the story.
Then again, so did Omega Emperor, because he said the first episode was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zyber singular.
Fandoms like Dragon Ball or Naruto or something, but with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's easier and makes more sense. So it was only a matter of
each season is essentially its own fanfic reboot.
Moving from making fanfics to making fan shows. In October 20th, 2008, we got a taste of what the community would be capable of the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Real Life duel.
It amazes me how this duel actually still holds up.
Honestly, I have to say, this doesn't look that bad, as these effects and camera quality are something we do see in fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows even today. But even though I use the term fan-made shows, I'm mostly focusing on the live-action stuff, as that's the format most people use nowadays. The first one was Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy. And, well, It holds up to this day, still, honestly, just like the
Really?
Half Lava video. Still holds
I'll have to
up
check
to
it out
this very day.
someday.
I'm pretty sure, judging by the effects in later episodes, that these are the guys that will be working with people who worked on Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Heroes. We'll get to Card
Makes
Heroes
sense.
later, but for now, just keep these guys in mind for that because, well, these special effects are not bad. They're good. The quality of the video could get some more work, but then again, this was 2008, 2009. It was really only in 2010.
Really, the fact that the video effects still look decent is really high standards,
so,
you know?
That's good. I also love the custom dual disc they had in these. I think that was one of the best custom-made dual discs ever. So
that is a pretty cool looking dual disc.
That's what I'm wondering. They were using magnets or
yes.
something. How does that
Probably.
work? Well, anyway,
Oh,
moving on to what was I going to originally talk first, but I just want to give this a quick mention.
First shows.
In 2009, we will get a short made by Little Demon Films of what they could do if they made a live-action series in a short display of special effects that, just like the stuff that I talked about earlier, holds up to this very day. In fact, this is one of the videos that I have the most fond memory of when I look back at it because I just love these special effects. I remember back in the day when Select for the Sky Dragon was my favorite god card among the Egyptian gods, and this video just solidified it for me. Like, look at these special effects. They look amazing. They look good for their time. I'm pretty sure
they do.
Series nowadays don't do these kinds of special effects. Of course, we have shows that do, but I'm saying most because
right.
there are a lot of shows that go for more simpler. We'll get to those.
I mean, that is a glorious shot with Slifer.
Their own series. But before
the night
that,
sky
made
really
another
helps highlight
show in
him.
2010, now with some synchro monsters and light swarms and whatnot. But you know, it's not too important because we already seen that. So, you know. But it wouldn't be long before they started their own Yu-Gi-Oh series in the same year, simply titled Yu-Gi-Oh! Real Life. It had up to 6
Very original.
episodes until it was finished in its 6th episode before the series was unfortunately stopped, with the most recent episode being episode 7, which is a Duel Links episode, which was made in 2018.
Oh jeez, that was 4 years ago.
Update in a while, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Once the series was still around in 2011, we would get few more shows that would be important later. First, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie series made by Impossible Studios in 2011.
I love this card holder
To this
thing.
day, by the way. Oh boy, they've been on this
It
platform for a very
doesn't
long time.
end. It pauses, but it doesn't end.
Fucking fool. Actually, fucking buffoon. You humble and idiot. Fuck you.
Well, at least you remember to put it here, right?
The next one on the list was Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Heroes, made by Card Heroes.
Who
I'm sure
else?
they went by a different name back in the day, but I can't remember what it was.
Eh.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's like how Little Kriba used to be
in my
card games
opinion,
for the
I
win.
don't think this one aged well. I
No.
don't know, I never really found it that interesting. I feel like the main villain comes out of nowhere. You know, the red ace. And all that. You know, the wicked guy.
There's only one thing I remember out. There's only like 2 or 3 things I remember off of Card Heroes. Sly's hair and RJ's in the
The
hospital.
problem was I can barely hear it and all that sometimes. So it wasn't really that interesting, and you can barely understand what the characters are saying most of the time and all that. Also,
Batuki, RJ's in the hospital.
RJ!
Yeah, he's in the hospital.
Sorry, I had to do that. It's an old meme. My favorite part about the original was they were doing tabletop
Thank you.
duels, actually. That was my favorite part. I don't know why. It's just-
Christ
you don't
alive.
really see tabletop duels or, you know,
We don't. It's weird.
So it really feels unique when somebody does something like that.
I know, right?
Not doing heavy special effects or anything. Just
Yeah, you don't even need the special effects. It's like the easiest thing to do. You just need the light point counter.
something I could do see in stuff like Duel Knight, for example, by Team Samurai X. Or by Team APS, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's rare when you see it in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action series, or any fan-made series for that matter. So, that's what made it so unique. Though they're having a remake soon, or equal. I don't really know what it is. It a remake?
Yeah, neither do I. But
I don't
hey,
know.
I'll check it out when it comes out, right?
Like it was ever confirmed for me. But basically, they're making a remake, I assume.
I'll check it out if/when it comes out.
It's going to be better than the original Card Heroes, hopefully.
It would be hard to not
Judging by
be.
the trailers and whatnot, they upgraded their special effects. They look fucking amazing.
It's been years. They better improve.
Better. Though we haven't seen an update in a year by now, I still have high hopes for the show.
So not as bad as episode 7 4 years ago.
The best possible thing to come out of Card Heroes is one show that was inspired by it. One of the most infamous shows in the fandom. There are people that say that it didn't age well and all that, and I understand why they would say that, but in my opinion, I still love it regardless. And it was probably the first show ever to feature green screen in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan series community, and its own CGI models. For the most part, they were mostly taking stuff from World of Warcraft. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Revelations, Seal of Occult.
Oh, some of these episodes age like milk, but that just makes them better.
Green screen among the Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action community, and the first one to use CGI models and whatnot, and CGI animations. That's something that we...
The most respect I have for Revelations is the fact that it hasn't stopped. It's taking breaks, which is fine, but it's still going, which is just one of those where I'm like, what?
Nowadays was in Yu-Gi-Oh! RLDS, another Hungarian show that had some CGI models for stuff like Borolo Dragon and Deco Talker, but this show mostly...
All CGI. Well, mostly CGI. There are some standard stuff, which is fine.
It's a very cool show. Most people say that it didn't age well, as I said. I don't really care. I still have fond memories of the show.
Same here.
Regardless. But one thing...
I can never hate Seal of Occult.
Whatever. But I remember one of the biggest things from watching this show as a kid. I don't remember how old I was. I was like 7, I think?
7?
7 or 8? I remember that one thing about this show was that this show made me want to get the God cards and the Duelists more than the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime ever did. It's fucking hysterical to me sometimes. Like,
it sounds funny.
Advertise this card game and its products did not make me want to buy the product as much as a fan-made thing did. It's just hilarious. And you
still haven't gotten that dual disc, Dookie.
We got shows with pretty good special effects and large casts of people working together to bring their stories to life. It really seemed like that's not a lot of people could do.
It was a golden age of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan series.
Knowledge about editing.
Now we're kind of in a silverish bronze age.
Like, you need a big cast.
It isn't dead, but...
You know, your filmography. Like, it feels like it needed, you know, a lot of stuff and knowledge for it to work properly. A lot of props and whatnot. It really felt like that only select few that have groups of people working with them to do. Until
Excalibur changed the game forever.
February 19th.
It was so different, you misspelled it.
Channel, Press Kamori upload an episode 1 of his Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur.
It changed the game forever.
Inspiration to many people out there.
There are so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows that have Excalibur to thank for their creation. Even if they don't even know it.
People for, and you know, all the stuff that I mentioned earlier. But Press didn't really do any of that. The only people that were really helping him with this were his friends Paxton and Sean. Sean being the only person other than Prez to play multiple characters. Because that's right, this show was mostly a one-man show. Prez Kamori
it's Prez with several hats.
Every single character
in a manner of speaking.
For that you would need a pretty good voice range to make all kinds of different voices and whatnot. And you would need
Prez does good enough. It's acceptable.
Like hats, sunglasses, masks, and different kinds of masks and whatnot. it really starts to stretch it a little when you see duels between like Prez and Prez in sunglasses, where it's like, it's obvious that it's not a different person, it's just Prez.
At least he's wearing different shirts for them. It helps.
You recognize a character and whatnot. It works. Like, you put sunglasses on, boom, you're instantly Maverick. Let me just say how much stereotypical characters we get from this show.
It's a gold mine.
So many shows did that. You have the main rival piece of shit character with a hoodie. I've seen a lot of those in my days as well. And also, let me talk about the special effects. Prez did not have heavy editing like the previous shows. Prez had pretty basic editing. Just lays the picture of a card on screen.
Windows Movie Maker.
Picture of its stats, add some sound effects, and boom, that's all. That's enough.
That's all you need.
People love it to this day.
Yeah, it's so simple. You don't need giant effects.
As the legend and pioneer of Yu-Gi-Oh! Live-action shows, because although he wasn't the first one, like there are people that say that he was the first one, that's a lie. He's definitely not the first one. It's been 3 years before he joins, and in those 3 years,
he's not the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but he is a pioneer.
This can be made simply as this. All you need is a good story.
It's like how God of War isn't the first hack and slash, Devil May Cry is, but God of War gets all the praise.
I guess you can make a dual disc, but, that's neither here nor there. But who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about my struggles. Nobody cares that I want the dual disc. Especially James. He's probably laughing at me right now. Excalibur clones showing up, I guess you would say. I remember back in the day when there were so many people that wanted to get into the Excalibur dimension. The Excalibur dimension mostly consisted of other shows. There have been a lot of shows that have been teased by the Excalibur dimension crew but never aired.
Yeah, seriously.
Or aired but were, cancelled. And the episodes were deleted. The only show among those, 6 or 7, I believe. Wow, that's actually a big difference.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Among those shows, there were Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur itself, the flagship series. There was Yu-Gi-Oh! Project.
Yu-Gi-Oh! L never came out. Or maybe it did and was deleted, I don't remember now.
There was Yu-Gi-Oh! The Masked by Cinematic Controller, also now today known as App Art Girl Broad. I hope I pronounced that name right. I'm sorry if I did.
I don't want to misgender your channel.
Shows called Yu-Gi-Oh! L, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bug Warriors, Yu-Gi-Oh! Armageddon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Dare. 3 out of those 4
which I really hope would have been like a Truth or Dare Yu-Gi-Oh! version.
One of them had a video talking about it, and by Prez's friend Sean. And another one had 1 episode, but the creator didn't like it, so he deleted it and decided he was not gonna do it anymore. Aside from one April Fool's joke that he made, where he made an April Fool's joke as episode 2, Return of the Joel.
Hey y'all, my name's Joel.
That was a
fair enough.
Very funny video. I like it. So basically,
I mean, yeah. Yeah, you have an episode 2, but no episode 1. Nice.
Change in Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action. There have been a lot of shows that did that formula. One-man show, basic editing. That's just what Prez inspired people to do. That's just simply what Prez did. He broke the ground. He broke the ice, went in, and everybody followed him. That is simply why we're all thankful for Prez and what he did.
This Kazuki Takahashi tribute video praises Prez.
It was an inspiration to all of them. We love him for that. We worship him for that matter. Not as much.
But anyway, we gotta talk about the fan series.
Of course, because
Oh no!
Have any of this.
Prez is great. He's no Kazuki Takahashi, and I don't think even Prez would say he was.
For being one of the biggest inspirations in my life, aside from Kazuki Takahashi. And that's all without mentioning the fact that in 2013 and 2014, everyone was trying to be a part of the Excalibur dimension, as I said, or at least be in that universe. There have been so many people.
Yep.
It was an era where pretty much almost everyone wanted to do this kind of stuff. Everybody wanted to do this.
It was a golden age.
Leading us to today. Now, I think it's important that I talk about the fallout of Yu-Gi-Oh! Live Action. Well,
Why am I here?
Fallout, or, you know,
Leave me out of this!
would be a correct choice for name, but I really don't know what to call this, but I'm just gonna call it, like, Death and Rebirth, basically.
Damn it, Dookie.
So, as I mentioned earlier, or as I'm about to say, the early 2010s were a golden era for Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action shows. At that
God,
time,
this looks so
everyone
shit.
wanted to do it. But in 2015,
I hope I never have to react to this.
well, a bit of a darker time. From 2015 to 2019, or no, from 2015 to 2018, sorry. That was basically a dark time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action shows because, well, they started to die out.
Yeah.
Like the aforementioned Yu-Gi-Oh! The Mask, for example, that was part of the Excalibur dimension. That series only had
Why are you
5
still
episodes.
showing me?
After its 5th episode, it was basically cancelled.
Oh,
And
God.
stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! Project Games hasn't seen an episode from 2016 to 2019, which was a special crossover with Card Heroes.
It was better than
Specifically the
nothing.
remake
It was
Card
better
Heroes
than
Crimson.
nothing.
And
And it was a pretty good episode, to be
was
fair.
hit
Couple episodes.
especially. The episodes were pretty rare.
Sadly, yes.
2013, Perez would be uploading an episode consistently throughout the year. In 2013, he made and finished the whole season of Excalibur, and still continued it. But 2016 was very quiet for that, and
Yeah.
not just that, there are other shows out there that suffer the same fate. Like in 2016, the movie series entered its, well, quote-unquote final episode, with episode 12. And, well, in the end of that episode, they teased a dueling special. They even have a trailer for it and everything.
That went nowhere.
Well, that special dueling series never happened. And the problem was that dueling
Now
was
Jace be like, why are you
updated
showing
way
me?
too much to the point where they couldn't keep up with the metagame and everything. And the dueling series was based around the meta that the duelings had at the time. So with the fact that the meta changed so fast, you would expect that to be very much outdated. But
If you think that the freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta Ghost is too much,
I guess
they have links now. We have link monsters in Duel
Something
Links.
does that. There was
It
a
only
lot of
took
people
them
making
5
shows
to
back in
6
these
years.
days. But after a few episodes, they would get cancelled. They would lose will to do it and whatnot. And I don't know why. Did people lose interest in the game? Most likely due to the fact that this was like 2015, 2016, the time when pendulums were causing a ruckus, when we got Zodiacs, the True Dracos, the Blue Eyes was the Blue Eyes was winning the fucking world tournaments. In 2017 and
It fought
18 were
itself
years
in the
when
world
Link
tournament
Monsters and
too.
Master Rule 4 came out, which also a lot of people said that killed the game. So maybe that was one of the reasons.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
why
Has
people
been
were
killed so many
leaving the
times,
game
it's
and
just-
canceling
to
all
wonder
the
how it's
shows
still
because the
alive.
game was ruined. There
Why
was
won't
select few
you
that came
die?
from those times that still hold up to this day, like for example Last Code Knight's Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed, which is still running to this day and is nearing the end of season 3 and getting closer to season 4. So yeah,
There's
a
probably
lot
gonna be
of
as
these
many
shows
episodes of Unleashed as there
gone.
is Arc 5.
Like, there were some decent shows at this time that disappeared. Like for example, Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Charged by Jace Hubbard. That was started from like, I believe 2017 to 2019, and it got cancelled due to some real life problems and due to some reason that I'm pretty sure most people relate to, and that was, you know, Kappa getting introduced in
Yeah.
That's the reason why my friend 55 Gaming and Production, or Samuel as we know him, cancelled his Dark Evolution series that he had under the channel name of Lost Name. There was a lot of people who were doing
he also
videos
moved
at
his
this
entire
time
channel.
and were just cancelling their own shows, and that's just sad to me. Because there were a lot of these shows that were decent or good.
That was the
matter,
dark
that
time of Yu-Gi-Oh!
suddenly
fan series.
disappeared. Some of them were lasting for a very long time before they get canceled. Some of them didn't make it like past episode 5 or so. So, yeah. But I guess history kind of repeats itself. Like I said, the early 2010s was the golden age of Yu-Gi-Oh fan shows.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to do them. They were popular as... more popular than anything I would know about Yu-Gi-Oh!
It was ridiculous.
And it seems like that the early 2020s, well, they're kind of the same.
Yeah.
Because we
It's
have
a
a
new
lot
age.
of shows that are still running, even after 2 years. My series, Dragon Warriors, Crimson Skies by my friend Jamie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred Journeys, Quest for Caliber, Gold, upcoming
I have
Omnivores,
to check that out.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of Despair, Yu-Gi-Oh! Rise of the Planets, the movie series is back at full force for making their stuff. We have the Revelations of Seal Over a Calculus Crew working on their spin-off series, Fractured
Dual
Destinies.
Arena of Fractured Destiny, yeah.
There's a lot of people still working on this stuff, and
We're in a silver
can't say I'm
age.
sad about that. We have all these people still
I know, right?
working on these shows because they love working on it. They love Yu-Gi-Oh! That much. They love making their
We
own
fucking
story with it.
despise this game constantly.
And
But we stick
honestly,
with
I
it.
can't ask for
We're in an
more.
abusive relationship with this game.
I really feel like that. I don't know how to describe it, but the feeling is nice. We went through 2010s. We went through them with such popularity and love for these shows. Then the late 2010s kind of killed it for a while. And then from
Yeah.
2020 to 2022, we started to get a bit of a resurgence back in popularity because they're now popular like back then. I don't know if that's like a recurring thing or just coincidence. I hope it's a coincidence, and I hope that it doesn't happen again in like late
God, I can't even
2020s, and then we have
God,
to
I
wait
can't
till
even avoid
2030
the
for it
freaking
to come back to its feet.
freaking nobodies in the
But-
Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Yeah, that's it for talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action shows. As I said, there is something very special about Yu-Gi-Oh! Community where making a show based around the children's card game
Thank you, Hammer
is
Space.
easier than ever. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's still easier.
Damn, this
than
series looks great.
Something like a Naruto or Dragon Ball show.
Well, yeah, you don't have to actually
Those
fight
need
people.
a
Just play
lot more
card
battle
games.
Choreography and a lot more special effects rather than a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show where it's enough to have a dual disc, the cards, and record it all. Just place some pictures of cards on the
We
screen.
we truly are a very lucky community.
Put some
There's not a lot of Magic the Gathering in real life, so if you ever have a Magic the Gathering phase,
summoning animation.
as far as I know,
That's it.
that's an oil field that hasn't even been
This
tapped
is a
at
video
yet.
essay about something dear to me.
If you're watching this for some reason in a Yu-Gi-Oh video.
Big community that I grew up with, and I still.
Oh, so it's called
love
Yu-Gi-Oh!
this
Super because you
series.
got Super Quantums.
Tribute to a man that made it all possible. Thank you, Kazuki Takahashi, and may you rest in peace.
God, there's still so many Yu-Gi-Oh! fan series I haven't seen yet.
Open the gates, and may the gods await you there as the one true queen.
Well, Dookie, I think you did an excellent job with this. I'm not saying you should make a lot
This
more
is
in the
not the end.
future.
What I did in
Oh,
this
I thought it was the
video
end.
was just gush about how I'm still a child and how I
Yeah.
love all of these shows. But how about I talk about the shows in detail? I'm planning to
God.
start a series where I'm going to review fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows,
Leave me out of this! No!
animated role plays in games like Minecraft or live action shows. I will cover them one by one in my new series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan Series Reviews. First episode, Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, made
Oh,
by
God.
Zardar. Thank you, everybody.
I'm so sorry for your loss
See you next time.
of sanity.
See ya. Hey everyone, Duki here just for the end card and all that. thank you for sticking with me throughout this video essay where I was just talking about how much I love this community. I just don't know what to say, man. This is also, if this feels a bit janky and all that, I'm sorry, but I never, ever, like, did anything close to a review. Like, anything. Never even, like, guest starred in a review or something. Like, nothing. I never did anything like that, so this is my first time ever doing it.
I think you did a good job.
I have a problem with stuttering a lot. And I'm a very lazy person, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Which is why you might hear me stutter a few times throughout this video. I'm trying my best to make it like, you know, that doesn't happen and all that.
You did a good job.
But, yeah, you know, thank you for watching. Check out any of these other videos that you see on screen. If I remember to place anything, I hope I did.
It's just a black screen.
See you next time.
Don't make me do stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably. Oh, and also one of my final thing before I go. I'm sorry, but I'm probably also gonna be having like guest stars in these shows. Like I don't know, Al Marshall joining me in the Excalibur since he already has like a retrospective on all of the Excalibur dimensions. So you should check out that video. That video is pretty cool. It's a very good.
I think I saw that one. Yeah.
Like, well, better than this one actually. So yeah. So yeah, for real now. See you guys in the next video.
Well, as I said, I think you did a good job there, man. Now, where would I be without a Yu-Gi-Oh fan series? Well, this channel wouldn't exist for a good start, and the world probably would have been a better place. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I would have continued Ragnarok more than what is now, where it's like hold indefinite hiatus for now. So I basically, so I constantly mock the fact that, no, all these Yu-Gi-Oh series don't get past episode 4. You mean like you? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I agree with Dookie and everything you said. Like the early 2000s, 2010s-ish, we need a word for that. The early 2010s were like the golden age of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then around late 2010s was a dark age. Like, I legit had this thought around 2019 or something like that. 2019, 2018. I don't remember the exact phrase, but I'm 99% sure it's 2019, if that matters. Which probably doesn't. And yeah, I was legitimately thinking, I am running out of Yu-Gi-Oh content. Well, okay, not Yu-Gi-Oh content as a whole. Yu-Gi-Oh live action specifically content. I had like 5,000 Minecraft series to take care of, and like, there's always gonna be animated stuff. They're not as common, but they exist. Zybers, technically Digijects, My Animation Against the Gods, stuff like that. There is Yu-Gi-Oh animation content I could cover, but I was legit thinking like, I am running out of Yu-Gi-Oh live action. And nowadays I cannot keep up with all the Yu-Gi-Oh live action. Every other minute, it's like, I need to start this series at some point. Now this series, now this series, now this series. And now part of me is like, well, ask and you shall receive. And hey, I'm more than happy to have too much content than be out of content. Because the moment I run out of Yu-Gi-Oh series to watch, this channel is dead. Okay, not dead, but in serious jeopardy, considering that's the main bread and butter of this channel. It exists so that the little guy gets a push. Give more notice for other series. Hopefully give them some subs if you want to see this stuff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff out there where it's like, I have to give them the push. But I'm taking forever on my upload because I'm trying to help this guy, and then forever. I need to get back to White Dragon's Legacy. I'm going to get back to it, just in case it's being like, there's no fucking time to record. And then when I have to record, it's for something else. And then there's procrastination, which is my ultimate enemy. The final boss of life, procrastination. Wait. There's so much shit to do. But yeah. Fan series. The world would be a very different place without it. Some people watch, the funny thing is that some people watch the Yu-Gi-Oh fan series even when they're not watching the anime, so in the sense, the fan series was keeping their passion going in the game, even if the anime isn't. I mean, I didn't finish Brains, but you bet your ass I'm keeping up with this code. Good night and all of his stuff. I'm not watching Sevens, but I'm watching the fuck out of White Dragon's Legacy. Hey. I don't know. I love how we just keep praising Prez Komori like he's some god, and then just Prez is not a god. He's assumed he's a great guy, but it's like, we know next to nothing about him IRL. Like, as far as we know, he's a piece of shit. I mean, every guy's a piece of shit to some extent, but you know. There's a reason Mother Teresa's a woman, because a man ain't gonna be that fucking nice. Like, no, I'm sure Prez is a great guy, a nice guy IRL, but it's just funny how, like, we idolize the fuck out of him. We know almost nothing about his real life. Not that we should know about his real life, it's like... It's essentially like you look outside, see some stranger across the block, and be like, I will now approach this man as my god. Okay, it's not to that extent, but you know. Only on the internet. It seems like I make the joke about how, like, we're praising Kazuki Takahashi every fight. This is a tribute video to Kazuki Takahashi, but we spent more time praising Prez. But, like, Prez would not exist without Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Wouldn't exist without Kazuki Takahashi. So, in a sense, it all comes around fully again. It's amazing just to think about how, again, the origin of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is always one that will baffle the fuck out of me till the day I die. Just the it's like how Pokemon's entire concept was great because I watched a butterfly hatch from a cocoon. It's like, boom, oh, that gives me an idea. Of course, there's more to it than that, but it's like, you know, it's a birth of an idea. Plus, I like the idea of it better than him just looking at reading a Charles Darwin book, because that's a bit more boring. I idolize the past and stuff. Well, maybe I'll check out the review series, at least in my own time, if not a reaction, so, you know, I'll check that out. Good luck with Chronicles. If you like it, that's more than okay, but it's not for me, as you can tell from my review of it on this channel, which, yeah, if you like Chronicles, you're not gonna like the review. So yeah. I think it's still on the channel, assuming it wasn't on the old and got deleted. I've never gone back and checked, because I've never gone back and checked on Chronicles. Hey. Oh. Not much else to say after that, except that I just want to say one more thing. RJ's in the hospital.